Welcome everyone to Fated Worlds, the Eschaton. So today we're gonna do something kind of special. Oh hey, Cal is here. Uh, which is that we're playing, as I said, the Eschaton, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse hack that I've been working on. Um, and I could explain a little bit about it, but I think let's just kind of jump in with character creation because I think that will uh, just going through that process will uh, fill in a fair amount of the details. Um, so the characters that are available uh, are the citizen, who is uh, essentially uh, the they're essentially equivalent to the apocalypse world hard holder. They have they're in titular control of their own planet. Um, so they tend to have like a very large population, um, and you know have a fair amount of uh, control over that population. That and there's two major paths that can take, which is either sort of the soft version where they're where the society is kind of uh, democratic and gets along well with the rest of meta society, or they can treat the world as sort of their own private playground, um, with very strict controls over culture, um, which makes it easier to control, but with generally with less resources. Um, Next up, there's a couple of new ones that I haven't tested out yet that I would love to see tested out, uh, which is the committee chair, who has like a whole bunch of political influence, um, but their their organization is sort of scattered and kind of difficult to control. Uh, but in terms of that influence, they are second to none. Um, Next up is the Force Commander. Uh, they are in control of either like a mercenary company or some other sort of militant order, um, and they uh, they are really good at either confronting other organizations, uh, with sort of direct force, or arbitrating in existing conflicts and being able to force through an agenda while in that arbitration process. There's also the composition, which is uh, it can be like a full-on hive mind, or it can just be a bunch of people who are uh, uh, mentally linked, uh, either sharing memory or personality. And the final one is the regional intelligence director. Uh, they are the head of a spy organization. Um, so, do any of those call out to any of you?
Was the hive mindish one a path of the Force Commander, or is that completely different?
Completely different. I'm sorry.
That's the one that stuck out to me.
The regional intelligence director was one of the ones that stuck out to me.
Okay.
Okay,
to me, I think like citizen force and composition are all interesting to me. Committee and regional intelligence a little bit less, but still.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I should try Force Commander or Committee Chair, because those are the new ones, right? I want to test them.
Okay, cool.
I'll choose one. I don't know which one. Force. Let's just be Force Commander.
Okay.
Be a militant.
Okay. So, in Roll20, there's you'll see a blank character sheet for each of those options. You can just like open that up and start personalizing it.
Okay. So, Mark, what are you going with?
I think I go with composition now.
Okay. Another regional.
That just means I'm kind of a hive mind being, right?
You have the option of going full on hive mind or just sharing memories or just sharing personality.
I see.
In my character sheet, when I click on the character sheet tab, it's empty. It's blank.
Ooh. Oh,
probably because you need on the bio.
Yeah, look on the bio page.
The character sheet tab's only there for if you've added a character sheet in Roll20 itself.
Yeah, the whole thing's on bio because I.
So, question: what's streamlined for body mean?
Well, okay, so if you have like a robot body, then it means it's very very spare without a whole lot of like humanoid details. But there are there are other possible values for it. Like you could have a if you just have like a normal or relatively normal humanoid body, that could just be that you don't have much of the way of features. It's like very streamlined. I don't know.
Is what's animal uplift body?
That is like the body of like any Earth creature, only with full human intelligence. So for making selections in the character sheet, you can just edit it to like highlight the things that you're choosing, or you can just delete the stuff that doesn't apply.
Oh right, I was just writing it in like a notepad. No.
Yeah, all the character sheets are like extra copies, so you can mark them up however you want. No problem. So let me see. While you're making choices, I guess I should tell you guys a little bit more about the world. So you'll get to define a lot about the local solar system where the game will take place. But the meta society that's around that solar system is isn't actually you're like in the part of it that has that's more or less human dominated, but society as a whole, or within society as a whole, humanity is just like one upstart amongst thousands of races. It's sort of post-capitalist in that resources are sort of are allocated by reputation, and you can so based off of your reputation, you can there's a specific move called I'm blanking on it, convenient acquisition, that will that you can use to either sort of happen to have a piece of technology, when you need it, exactly when it's convenient, or if there's something that you think that you're going to want to have later, you can sort of either at character creation or before before it's actually needed, but in play, acquire it at a with a bonus to the roll. And failing that roll doesn't necessarily mean you don't get the piece of technology. It can just mean that it actually lowers your rep rather than just being a permanently, rather than it just being like a temporary offset or not affecting your reputation.
As these super powerful leaders, right? What are we gonna be doing during the this session?
Okay. Yeah, as soon as the main part of character creation is done, you'll actually have a choice in that. There are three main options. One is sort of player versus player, which essentially means that your organizations already are somewhat engaged in opposition, and you can attempt to get along, but your people are going to be pushing to fight or undermine each other. Another option is incursion by the Lords of the Outer Dark, which are sort of these Lovecraftian entities. And then the third one is a push by how did I describe it? By a corporation trying to muscle its way in. So in addition to choosing one of those three factors that affects everybody. You'll each have a one or two personal scenarios, such as like uplifting a race of beings, like the animal uplift, or there could be like a hacker collective that is trying to cause trouble, or a outside intelligence agency could be trying to push you to do certain things for them, stuff like that. But it's pretty sandboxy. So if there's like if you like come in with an agenda, you can totally pursue it.
Yeah, I think I already have one.
Okay. One thing I should mention: if you take the like the corporate power grab or the incursion by Lords of the Outer Dark, when you take either of those, I make more moves than I would if it's PvP.
That makes sense.
Well, what do you guys think? The Lovecraftian one, there's an upstart. There's a new organization, sort of in I don't know, space, and we kind of don't want him there. Is that the other situation?
Oh, yeah, the third one is corporate power grab.
Yeah. Some upstart corporation, and we just kind of gang up on it and try to beat it down, but it's too strong. I have a question about my stats. What so badassness I can kind of figure it's well, being a badass. Synthesis, what is that?
Okay. It is essentially your technical ability, as well as being sort of the default for actions that don't fall under the other stats. The other stats, other than badass, which is just like fighty. There's focus, which is sort of it's sort of like D&D wisdom. It's like perception and mental fortitude. And then suave is sort of charisma.
You also have fortune. I saw over here.
Yes.
For at least one. Check that now. But I did not see fortune on the sheet at all.
Okay. So fortune is derived, and it's generally going to be at 0, unless you have a very high rep.
Okay. What is a high rep?
5 or more.
Okay.
Also, I'm showing for the agency, choose 2 organizational descriptors from the following list. Some of those are most of those, they're all different forms of government.
Yes. So, under handouts in Roll20, there's one of the entries is organization descriptors. That lists out the game effects of what each of those governments are. And if you have any questions about
should it be 2? Because it feels weird if you have like an autocracy with something else. They seem to almost cancel each other out.
Try not to take any that are like direct like a directly democratic autocracy is a contradiction of terms, but under a autocracy, it could certainly be either bureaucratic or ad hoc. It could have a caste system. It could have restricted information or not. So yeah, there definitely are some that are mutually contradictory, but definitely not all of them.
Descriptors for my organization. Is there a bunch of them I can choose from?
Yes. Again, in handouts, there's a sheet that's organization descriptors.
Okay, cool. Oh wow, they're right there. Okay.
Oh, again, if you have any questions about what some of those forms of government mean, generally the ones that aren't obvious have a little bit of description, but feel free to ask. I guess all of them have some description as well as the game effect. Go me.
So right away when I started making my character, I chose one of my faults. Is this my is the fault affect my organization or just my individual character if I have any?
The fault is you personally.
Okay.
That's why I don't have faults here. I don't see any. Oh, there. Never mind. I see it now.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
I chose addict, and I was kind of thinking how weird it would be, or how, I don't know, interesting it would be if my entire organization is addicted to something. That's why we're addicted to some sort of, I don't know, cosmic drug or something.
You're doing the sports commander, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your organization doesn't actually start off with any with any surpluses or wants, which may be a mistake, but you could very quickly get all of your people addicted to something just by starting a fight. Like one of the whenever you use the organization move direct conflict, one of the 7 to 9 results is your organization gains a new want, and one of the wants you can choose is drugs, I believe.
Okay, so I'm thinking, the more I think about them, the more they're turning into just a gang of space borderland psychos, just like flying through space. Because I think they're going to be mercenaries. They're going to be a band of mercenaries. Large organization of mercenaries.
Or bounty hunters. Space bounty hunters.
Just all the scum, just like bounty hunters, mercenaries, all of them. I just don't know what organizational description they would be. I guess, what is that? Ad hoc or?
Probably. Like if if they're very loosely organized, then ad hoc would be the thing. If they're if it's just a bunch of scum, then
But something's kind of something has to pull that scum together into a cohesive unit. I don't know what would it.
There might be an oligarchy ruled by a small group that does not necessarily share a common attribute. You might have a small group at the top that don't necessarily have the same wants and desires.
Okay, I'm gonna go for that one, oligarchy then.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know a lot about that sort of stuff.
So
I think there's no wants for the agency.
Correct. They don't start off with any either. They are well supplied. It tends to be the larger organizations that start off with surpluses and wants. So like definitely the citizen has them, and you can gain them. You can gain, as I mentioned, you can gain them in the course of play.
Okay. I went ahead and let me actually change the name of the character if you want to check it out. I think I have everything. Oops, nope, just default, which was meddlesome.
That's Constantine?
Yep.
And is that how it's pronounced?
Actually, I did. Wait a minute. I just lost the thing to save that. I'm going to edit.
What's an autarch?
They're sort of the middle class. They are they by like 21st century standards, they're like millionaires, but they are people who are, and I know those two are like contradictory, but they are people who are aware of and a part of meta society. They have access to the Mindscape, which is the Eschaton version of the internet, but it's you don't. It doesn't require a device. You just sort of connected to it at all times. And so they having that interconnection there, they have a lot more agency than normal denizens who may or may not even be aware that they're part of a society, a greater society, and they tend to be fairly badass. Although that could be socially badass rather than the badass like the stat badass.
All right, I think I got my power armor, and then choose 4. So like my other stuff, my holdings.
Oh, and I'll say as far as the pronunciation, I looked up without the E, because Constantine with the E, but Constantin is at least what I found when I checked on like how to pronounce.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that name shows up in a number of existing countries, so that there's probably there's some flexibility depending on how you want to pronounce it.
I kind of like Constantine.
Constantine.
A little
Okay.
different.
Yeah, I mean, it's the future. Like,
I'm an American, so it sounds exotic to me.
And you went with dirty tricks and mass surveillance.
Those are the only two there, so I'm guessing. Oh no, I missed the Mets budget. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of the Mets budget because I only saw the two. I missed the third.
Okay.
Yeah, because those are the. I was like, that's kind of how I saw it anyway.
Okay. Yeah, there should have been a space between mass surveillance and immense budget.
under my holdings, I chose that my organization is now city-sized and I have an extra want.
Okay.
What is a want and where do I get it, put it? How do I use it? What does it do?
Okay. So under handouts, there's a sheet that's surplus and want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think I just have drugs as a surplus and not as a want.
Well, what does my wanting of drugs, does it crystallize in motivation or anxiety or nationalism or
With
savagery?
drug use,
Yeah.
When I need a fix, do I get savage?
It
Is this
could
for my
totally be that.
organization or for me?
So yeah, I think anxiety, desperation, or nationalism or savagery. Any of those could fit. For being
I want it
drug-addled.
to be savage. Yeah, they're gonna be savage, and I think their leaders turned that savagery into nationalism. Like they like sort of use the addiction to get the people to do what they want. Savage. But yeah, I wanted to ask: is this for me or for my people?
So surplus and want is your people.
People. Okay. And poor people.
Constantine,
Yep.
be sure to pick that piece of gear that all your agents have, and
Oh, that's right. Okay.
that's you can find that under assets. Or they could all have a piece of like cyberware or something similar, which you'd find under body tags.
Okay.
It appears that the handout for body tags doesn't have the cost. I think all the body tags cost 4 or less. Yeah, you can pick any of them.
What is a member of my organization? Because when I read Armed to the Teeth, it says 3 assets. Each member of my organization starts with 3 assets, but I don't understand how that works.
Okay. So, under handouts, there's a one of the sheets is assets.
Yeah, I have that open.
So they get to choose any 3 of those that have a rep cost of 4 or less, and you can also choose from the body tag list as well.
So okay, so this is like kind of like buffing all the members in my entire organization, like all of them.
Yeah.
They all have these. Oh, okay. All right. I think I read it wrong then. Let me see. Okay, yeah.
I have a quick question on smart clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that able to change on the fly?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And while it's not designed to aid attempts at stealth, it could be something that could be used to help, like you have the uniform of like a lieutenant and blah blah blah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
As like an aid to infiltration, that sort of thing.
Yep. So as far as stealth in crowds and getting into places, we all have smart clothing.
Okay. So let me know when I guess when anybody is ready to do bonds.
Soon.
Yeah, I'm at this point just waiting for other folk. I am in a pretty good spot.
Okay.
I'm still I think I'm finishing up now. I have my starting move and then like the one starting move and then one more, right? No more than that.
Influence, control, morale. What was that again?
Okay. So influence is is essentially your ability to affect other organizations. Control is your ability to keep your organization from being affected by other organizations, and morale is sort of like your organization's hit points.
Okay.
What's backup isolation under assets?
That means if if you get you or the person with that ability is exposed to something really nasty and contagious, like a Lord of the Outer Dark, there's no risk of having that uh, of having that spread if the character is like infected and then dies. The when they're re-sleeved, it'll be from a backup that hasn't been infected.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, to prevent like virus spread and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be smart enough to do that. I feel like that has already happened, and that's why they're addicted. So maybe I choose a body tag. Computronium bones. What is that?
That essentially means that you have so much computer processing power that it's ridiculous.
Okay, I think I can do bonds now.
Okay.
I'm also in the spot.
Okay.
I think so.
So
I'm pretty much done.
okay, cool. So who wants to do a bond first?
I haven't read them yet. Let me see.
Okay. Michael?
I mean, I can.
Compton? So just pick one of those. Another PC has betrayed you. One has one used to
I got
be
one.
close to you. Yada.
Who?
And
I
let me
can
know which.
choose one if nobody else wants to pick one right now.
Okay, you go first.
Okay.
Another PC knows a secret about that would make things rather difficult if revealed.
Should we introduce our PCs just so we have a better idea of who each person is?
Yeah.
Very good idea.
Okay, so who should go first? I introduce you.
Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, I do play the Logos system. The Logos system is an attempt to create a perfect form of government that will bring happiness to all people. And it's of course all computer and not biased at all, and it will bring fairness and everything. Thing is, unofficially, like nobody in this state knows, but it's actually just a lot of brains tucked together that they weren't able to understand, so they just took them into a system to get a broader viewpoint. And yeah, in their own nation, they're controlling like everything. They say, okay, you are very good at this, and you will be happy if you do this. So you will that's your job for your life. Have fun. And yeah, if they can in the nation, they can scan like the psychological state of someone, and he's like over a certain level, that he might be a criminal at some point. He will just locked away, or if it's too high, even execute on the spot, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, if it's working for this nation, like it works for the most part. I mean, there are flaws, but there are not flaws. No, the system is perfect. Why not try to expand the range of people that live under it? I mean, it would be great for them, right?
And, is that Logos with an S or Logo system?
Logos.
Okay.
I think I can go next, I guess. But I'm gonna improvise on the fly because I'm not sure. My organization of people is, as I mentioned before, a large fleet. Can it, or do they have a planet? Can they just be like a large nomadic fleet moving through space?
It generally depends on what what choices you took under holdings. Um, so if you one of the options is you could have like a barren moon that's your own, or if you don't take that, you can uh, you uh, you could take that and or like spacecraft or and if you did take spacecraft, then you could have the additional option of taking multiple ones.
Okay, so I'm gonna yeah, I took a spacecraft, then I took a three more,
Okay.
but I'm gonna add the tag huge to these things,
Okay.
so that'll like fit everybody in there. Yeah, let's see, their body sort of type are, I don't know if this is everybody or just my character. The look, gender, body, eyes.
That's you.
Okay, that's me. Um, they're mostly mercenaries, bounty hunters. Just they basically capture and beat up and kill people. They're sort of the scum of space, and but they mostly just they don't like sell drugs or anything. But all of them seem to have in order to be inducted into the this giant organization of mercenaries, you have to go through these trials that ends up you being um, you know, kind of loading up a virus into your vessel, and you become addicted to a certain thing. Now, the citizens don't know this. Only the leaders know, because in order for them to control the people, they need them to be under this influence of this drug, um, and they use that to control them. And yeah, they mostly just like they move around from system to system, making money and looking for. I think there's a religion that's been growing up in the fleet about chasing after some ancient artifact, somehow related to the drug everybody's addicted to. That's all I got so far.
Okay. Oh,
Okay,
so I don't see any edits to the character sheet. Is that
you have to save sometimes those will show up.
Oh, yeah,
how do
yeah.
I-
cool? Okay, thank you.
There we go. And I took arm to the teeth move besides the first one. Yeah, everybody's armed. Everybody's crazy armed, obviously.
Okay. And the name of your mercenaries is Blackwater.
Yep.
Cool.
Totally made up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it has no relation at all to the real world organization of mercenaries that used to be called Blackwater and is now I forgot what they're calling themselves now. But,
You know,
they change it every once in a while.
I didn't know that existed in real life. I just chose a really cool name.
Oh yeah, that's a rather infamous mercenary group. Or operators out here.
That's a very nice mercenary group name then.
You really didn't know? What was really by chance?
The name rings like a really big ass bell in my brain, but I didn't connect mercenary group Blackwater.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it our characters are pretty much the head of the organizations.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Constantin is the head of the Abyss, which is a intelligence agency. One of the things is if you see someone in like official, like quote unquote Abyss business, the smart clothes they have is one of their more useful weapons, because the standard what they wear both tends to make the person a little bit ambiguous gender-wise and covers parts of the face and hair. Partly so that if you see them in any kind of official capacity, it's very difficult to tell when they're out and about who they are. They can look like other people relatively easily. His thing is he likes to be pulling strings mostly to make sure he keeps an eye on how things are going. He has a tendency to make things happen when it might be better if he didn't sometimes. But he has people sort of everywhere, and they're willing sometimes to go to some of the places maybe they shouldn't. But he's very good at sort of knowing what's taking place. Like an agent in every population in the local star system, except for the composition. And then like there's a stealth spacecraft that he himself uses. So he's often on the move. But cybernetic eyes and I'm assuming cybernetic eyes can be designed to look regular.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cybernetic eyes are designed to look regular unless they have some sort of a way that they can look regular, but then might be able to put where they can appear cybernetic.
Sure. You can.
In actually that case, most people would see him with what looks like totally silver eyes, no pupils. But his normal sort of going about, if he's sort of out and about and doesn't want to be seen, the eyes look like normal eyes. So basically, like the screen or the sort of whatever aspect of it does hide it.
Cool. Nice. Oh, okay, and let me see. And the Abyss is a egalitarian cyber synesty.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of data that comes to him that has a tendency to run the general aspects of things. Like it kind of provides the push, and he kind of pops in and pulls some of the strings here and there to see what happens, because the one person is unable to essentially go through all of the intelligence that they bring in. So they have would that be like an AI or just a highly advanced algorithm?
Yeah, that's pretty much up to you. I mean, you could have, essentially one of the one of the members of the Abyss could be a full general AI, or it could just be like you could just have access to a very good expert system.
I kind of like the idea that I'm looking for the gods of death right now, since they're called the Abyss, of actually like an AI that provides him with information.
Okay.
They can kind of give it as a personality as opposed to just like here's a bunch of stuff we spit out.
Cool.
Osiris would be the name of the AI.
Okay.
A little bit over there.
So, who wants to do the first bond?
I do.
Alrighty.
This one's easy. I don't know who it would be more interesting to be in this bond, but I think I need to have it. Blank has something I covet, and you know what it is. It's the drugs or the artifact or whatever. The player tells you why they are not inclined to, and why don't you want to give it to me? What do you guys think it is? Constantine or Logos?
It might be more interesting if it's me, simply because you have an opportunity to infiltrate in a way that you wouldn't with Logos.
On the other hand, it could be like a mutual beneficial relationship. That you know my secrets, but I have something you want, and we kind of trade off. I pay you off that you don't tell my
Yeah.
secret. That was the other idea that I had, but
Yeah, for sure. In order to keep me quiet, yeah, you keep you keep feeding me what I want to need to control my people.
same.
Did it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I need you to not tell my secret to feed my people to control them. So
Right. So who goes next now?
Okay.
I'll go.
Okay.
I like the idea that Logos is aware of this, and it probably actually impacted Ariel. Another PC knows a secret that would make it rather difficult if revealed. Logos, I think you know that in an effort to essentially flush out a traitor that we have that was leaking information, I wasn't as careful as perhaps I should have been. Basically, the thing where you give multiple people different bits of information and see what surfaces where. Because of a few of the things that came out, as well as some other stuff I was not aware of, I accidentally started a war between two factions, and I'm basically been trying to not allow people to know that I did that, because the fact that my meddling caused a lot of death and destruction, and I probably should have known better.
I mean, I could have used this piece of information to become the leader of my world, right? Or like of my nation. That I used this to overthrow the old system.
Oh, cool. So yes, I mean, what I did actually allowed you to hop in and take over.
Yes.
Just making a note. So the Logos knows that you started a war. And I'm sorry. How did the Logos find out?
Well, we were the ones using this piece of information to overthrow the old system in our nation and take over control. So it would kind of make sense that we find out the source of this.
Okay.
Or you could have had a few people infiltrating me that so you got two bits of information that went around the same thing, and then were able to figure out perhaps on the
Sure.
actual how you got it.
Makes sense.
Um, okay. So the only connection we don't have yet is one between Ariel and Constantine, correct?
I got it. I think I have. Well, at least I have an idea. You're looking for the god of death, or the Cthulhuoid guy, people, stuff. I think because I'm chasing after some artifact that I have no idea what it is that my government has been feeding my people that we're searching.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was led to believe that perhaps you were connected to it, or what you were searching was connected to it. So you were like, okay, where's the bond? I did a job for you concerning that, and
what's the thing you're looking for?
I don't know what it is, to be honest.
I'll put the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're looking for the MacGuffin, And I thought it was related to what you were looking for. And so
Blue
I
MacGuffin
did a
made
job
of
for
pure
you.
unobtainium.
You chose how it went pear-shaped. Oh yeah, and it went really bad. I think how did it go bad? I think my people just went too savage. When we got close to the thing we were searching for, which was not the thing my people were searching for, it somehow fucked up with our minds, and we just went savage and like destroyed probably like some of your ships and your people as well.
Or if it could have been, if it was like an infiltration job where we were supposed to essentially open the way for you, and
Oh
then
yeah,
like
and we kind
get out with minimum casualties, and then everything went pear shaped.
like just wait for the signal. Okay, go.
All right, we're gonna very quietly.
Exactly.
Right,
part
Jenkins.
just said it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay, so next up is choosing the sort of the system, the shared problem or issue. Were you all leaning towards incursion by Lords of the Outer Dark, or did you want to do corporate power grab or PvP?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with any of those.
I
think
I would prefer PvP or corporate.
I would prefer either PvP or the Lovecraft stuff because my bond. PvP could be Constantine could be like, you're gonna pay for this, and then Logos could be like, we're not gonna give you any more drugs, and that is enough PvP for me. Like I could go and attack them for sure with that.
Yeah, I think I'm probably more the party that, tries to get a war between you two and try to put you both in a bad spot so that I can increase my influence or even take over your organization, and that you will find out about that and be pissed, understandably.
Sounds cool.
Leaking a bit of information here, making drugs disappear from an attack there, stuff like that.
And maybe in the background, that one other organization that we're not going to focus on is rising up and is going to take over by the end of the session.
So I want to check. Am I the one supplying you with drugs?
No, that's Constantine.
Oh,
No, I mean that's Logos. Yeah.
Drug deal.
So, if you guys are ready, let's jump in.
Okay.
So, Ariel, describe what your where you would be on I guess the flagship, and what does the ship itself look like? What does the chamber you're in look like? Is it like are you on the bridge, or are you does it have a bridge? Maybe it's distributed, or is it are you in your own quarters? What are we seeing?
I think you see Ariel. In the bridge, like commander position. She's not sitting, or they're not sitting. And everybody's like on their computers, their monitors, or their VR headsets, whatever the heck they're using there. They're jacked in, and they're getting ready, because as we zoom back out and we see the hull of like this. It looks like a mercenary spaceship. Parts of it are like really nice and like high quality, and parts of it are just like junk. It functions and it runs well. It's just, you can tell it's been just patched together from different ships. And as we keep backing up, you see the rest of the ships also none of them look the same. All of them are unique because they're all just kind of like that. And I think we would see them. Do you have a planet logos or no? Yeah, logos like that you run.
No, only a nation on the planet, but it's a high advanced nation. Not only like low infrastructure, it's like high end nation. But I tried to take over the planet anyway at some point. So yeah.
I think they would. The ships would be somewhere where you would see them, where somewhere your leaders would see them, and they'd be like, I don't know, shooting plasma, like fireworks, like declaring like that's like the Blackwater declare of like this is war, something like that. Like battle's about to start, get ready. Kind of putting down the arena flag.
Okay. I guess that it's just when you get a call.
Okay.
Okay. So the way calls generally work is that they're mediated through something called the mindscape, which is like again like the internet, only sort of it's a sort of a direct mental connection. So when Logos places the call, you get a like a knock 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 on your mind, Ariel, and there's when engaging in these sorts of conversations, there's always a very slight risk that the other party is is pulling something and will try and will try to like implant a virus or infiltrate in some way, but usually it's safe.
Okay. I need to fix. I just answer. I immediately just answer.
Okay.
Does your character have a name?
I guess you probably have like this one.
Or is it everybody logos?
No, it's just an avatar like that's one of the brains takes over.
Right.
That's like the head chef of the police or something in the country that's trying to do all the communications.
Oh yeah,
just
so I'm sorry, I forgot to ask. Were you which neural architecture did you choose?
I chose the first one. I
Self-organizing?
chose yeah,
Okay.
which only means actually that there are a lot of brains and there's one no really important avatar character to the open masses and to everyone. But they have a lot of drones they could potentially take over. So, to just get the immediate sentence. What is the meaning of this?
I think Ariel says, "This is your last chance, Logos. We had a good thing going. Give us another shot."
Well, we do have our thing still going, or I do not understand what is happening. What is the problem?
What is the name of the stuff you give me? What is the name of this drug that you supply my people with?
Soma?
Sure.
Sova, okay.
Soma.
Soma, okay, yeah, for sure. The Soma. The shipments they've stopped. I've contacted you and a ridiculous number of times about it.
We already told you that our ship was attacked.
That's bullshit. I would know if it was attacked. My people are everywhere. You know, I can let it out, the secret. I'll do it. My people are desperate. So I'm desperate.
let's make a deal that shall benefit us both. We will give you an additional shipment. However, we will need to be safe from what was the consultants organization's name again?
The Abyss?
Yeah, we need a bit protection from the Abyss. They seem to be rather active lately. We think that the attack actually came from them on our ship.
The Abyss. Why don't you choose another organization? I need them too. No deal. Find another way.
So, do you have any suggestions?
Yes. How about this? We've been working together for a long time. If I have enough supply, I could protect you, but I would need the location of your factories of the Soma and the mining facilities.
Okay.
Not for a reason, just and the guard schedules. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
To know.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, you can give it to us, or we can try to take it by force.
Okay. So I think that sounds like you're given an ultimatum here.
To be honest, I'm trying to make it ridiculously impossible for it to make a deal, so we can just start shooting at each other.
Oh. Okay. So, are you just trying to create like a reasonable excuse to go to guns, or would you be satisfied for now if they just gave you the a shipment and the location, or is there something else that you're looking for?
I think they would be satisfied with either continuing business as normal, which I don't know why exactly, but Logos can't. A shipment, like a small shipment, and then not having to fight Constantine because I need him because of the artifact thing, because of the MacGuffin. Or don't give me anything. Oh no, give me the facilities, and then I will fight Constantine, because then I will have the endless amount of Soma I want. Problem is that you don't have the leverage on me with the secret.
Yeah.
The fourth or fifth one, I can't remember which one, would be that you say, screw you, and I say, no, F you, dude, and then I just, take them by force, because I'm a force commander.
Okay.
Take the facilities by force.
So, of those options, which, if any, would the Logos be considered taking?
Yeah, from those, probably only the first one, but I'll try to make an ultimatum myself, because I'll just tell them that the factories are actually there are explosives in the factories, and as soon as they attack, they will all go off, and there will be no factories and no Soma anymore.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds to me like Ariel is making a ultimatum, and that you're actively resisting.
You're deceiving.
Okay. So, or it could be deceiving. But let's do the ultimatum roll first, and then we can figure out how things play out from there. So, Ariel, if you could roll 2d6 plus your suave.
That is, I think that's a -1.
Okay. And you may have a modifier from, you probably don't have any from moves, but you might have one from your form of government.
My form, no, it doesn't. It
Probably
gives
not.
me -1 rep and +2 to world ruler and manufacturer consent.
Okay.
The one thing I forgot to do was choose a body tag, but I'm not going to choose a body tag in order to get a 0 here. I'm just going to go -1.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Okay.
So I want to know why the shipment stopped. Because I'm sure there's some other like much more complex reason for why you made these savages angry.
So out of character now, or
Sure.
okay, out of character. Yeah, I just blew up my own ship to make you pissed at the
Constantine.
Yeah, at Constantine, and
Okay, good. That's
that's
good one.
basically it. Like,
That's
I've
really
been
good.
attacked by those, and
Maybe I can target their savagery towards Constantine. Yes. No,
yeah.
I can't. I'm too chaotic. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the GM says.
Okay. So I think what happens is essentially Logos, you're under no compulsion whatsoever to agree to this ultimatum, and let me see. And I think that some of the Ariel, some of your people were not necessarily tapping into the call, but like immediately after the call, they just sort of sense the change that the supply may no longer be there, and they're triggered. Like they they want to go on the warpath right now.
It's our instinct. That's all we know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before
I mean, your main tool is this hammer, and everything else looks like a nail.
yeah. So do I might have an agent up there in your ship?
If you're
Probably
like
not.
a spy person, then definitely it's not hard.
Okay. Yeah. So before the call ends, I'll just say, here's another deal. I'll give you double rations for the next 3 months, but you start revenging our ship because we don't like getting attacked by random other organizations. If you go to war with them, you will be rewarded with tons of what you desire.
Hmm.
And I make sure that the spy will bring the news to that the other will know that this offer exists. There's no that's what I try to do. Like that my spy is letting your people know this offer does exist.
Okay.
Okay, so
As yes. 1 sec.
so the spy's telling me this, not you in the call.
I tell you that in the call, but if you try to not tell your people that this offer exists, that you get more for declaring war on Constantine, I'll
Okay.
make sure that they will still know.
Oh, so basically you're being like, I know how you're controlling your people. I'm gonna let your people know.
Okay.
Yes.
So I actually want to back up a little bit. Like the regional intelligence commander has an ability where they start off with they can start off with a
Agent in every
spy in
population.
other people's organizations.
Yep. I was gonna ask if I
Okay.
had one in there.
Yeah. The composition doesn't.
Yep.
But you can as like your first thing, try to essentially have infiltrated Blackwater. So
Okay.
we can just do that as a roll right now if you'd like.
Sure. What do I have to roll?
That is the infiltrate move under organization moves. So you would roll your organization's influence.
Influence. My influence is 0.
All right.
So it's 2d6, right?
Yes.
Whew.
Okay. You do in fact have a spy in the Blackwater organization, and you get to choose two of these three options in the process of infiltrating. The Blackwater isn't alerted that there's something going on. The agent has access to all parts of the ship, or the agent can communicate or leave at will.
I think I'm just going for the first one. The target organization isn't alerted.
Okay. Okay. You actually get to choose two of those.
Oh,
So.
Okay, then the agent can communicate or leave at will.
Okay.
That's...
We're gonna capture him and eat him alive.
Okay. So, yes, you have a person who can who can act, but before we go into leveraging them to make a deal, let's switch over to Konstantin, and let's see. Okay. So you already have somebody on within Blackwater, and let's set the scene for me. Where are you in the system? What does the room look like?
Okay, so on the bridge of the ship, we are kind of flying between. We kind of got the route changes all the time, just so we're not on a specific course as we go through. But one of the things that I'm doing is sort of getting information. I don't know if we have like if they got satellites or something we've hacked into that they can send. Basically, agents can send information to us from.
Yeah, you probably have spy satellites like distributed throughout the system.
Yeah, so essentially, kind of picking up information as necessary, checking in on things, and at this point, in what's fairly kind of casual clothing on the bridge, we don't. While the ranks and stuff are important in here, we don't necessarily go by having to look specific ways. Partly so it's a little kind of get to know individuals a bit more.
Yeah, and it's a fairly flat command structure anyway, right? It's egalitarian.
Yes. Yeah. So at this point, probably just checking with Osiris on there's like an ear comm or something. I don't know if it's done that way. Kind of going over some of the information that we've got recently, and I'll have there's not just like a physical map of the universe. Like these are the different things, but it's much more the political one is the one I use much more. Sort of looking at relationships, taking information that we've gotten, so I can kind of like minority report the whole boop boop boop. Got this out, making notes, adding in some stuff, and taking the other information that we've gotten so far, and adding those. So this moment, I might be checking in on if I've gotten information about maybe the problem, the fact that the drugs aren't coming in for. I don't know if I know that or not.
Yeah, you probably aren't aware of the conversation that they just had, uh, but you're well aware of the dynamic that.
So I guess I'll go like Osiris. Any particular updates we've come in recently?
We anticipate that there is a high probability that the two parties are in communication. It is and that the that the that Blackwater has recently become agitated.
Out of character. What would I know about the relations between Logos and Blackwater in the past?
So in the past, that they seem to have uh, had some sort of they've had this relationship. You're not sure. Well,
I think we try to keep the relationship on the down low and just kind of keep away from each other.
So, yeah,
So
let's find out
came
what
into-
you know about
It's
it.
it's your side chick organization.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, if you looked at the data, you would be like, Blackwater has gotten into conflict with everybody, but not them, ever.
Okay.
So it sounds like just in asking that, and because you're asking your your AI, that sounds to me like search the mindscape, which is essentially research.
Okay. Well, I got a +2 on that. Let me double check. I don't think any of my other stuff gives me. I think on that one. But let me just check it. Pull it back up.
Okay. Okay, so it was actually a 10 plus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can ask a question from the search the mindscape list, and then a follow up.
Damn. Okay, roll 12.
Do I get XP for failing?
What we can find would this be search the mindscape or assess? Or I guess is assess more direct?
I think it's search the mindscape.
Yeah. So what is the relationship with the information that we have looking into it? What is the relationship we have between Logos and Blackwater?
Okay. So yeah, you essentially know that Blackwater has been receiving some sort of drug from Logos, and that it's and that part of the basis of that relationship is a secret that is being held very close to the vest by Logos.
Okay. And then a follow-up from that one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I guess, right now, I'll step out of that for a second to ask Logos. You mentioned that part of it to kind of come after me. Would I be it's much easier for you to keep secrets because of being composition. Am I aware that you have any enmity towards me, or do I think we're cool?
No, I actually think just because of our relationships that we do have, the bonds, I think when you are already on bad terms with them, I might be able to spur it up and get at least rid of one loose end.
Yeah.
And or just maybe get more influence on both of those organizations. So I try to just make them, waste their resources on each other.
Okay. I guess my question then will be, since I think I'm probably okay with Logos, and that feels different because I'm dealing with one person, essentially. How secure is Blackwater right now?
Or armed to the teeth.
Oh no,
Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not
So-
mechanically,
secure
but-
for me is not gunning after you. Secure for me is more things that I might be able to either take advantage of or maybe come in as a friend and help shore up for a bit of scratching on my back as well.
So yeah, I think that your or Osiris's assessment is that they are on an informational basis. They are not secure. You can probably get a hold of uh, get a hold of almost any information that they're in possession of, but they are definitely a physical threat.
Okay.
Oh, and I should mention that I think both Logos and Ariel should go ahead and mark experience for activating activating that bond,
Okay.
like acting upon
me
it.
too? Or
How
did you say
does
Ariel and Logos? Did you say me too?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so given that information, is there anything else, anything you want to do with it, Constantine?
And as you said before, all I know is Lucas is supplying the drugs, but I'm not aware of at least some of the possible schisms between them yet.
Correct. You know that Blackwater just recently went on. You could call it onto high alert. They're the people on their ships are have just recently become very agitated.
And I know that agitation has to do with the drugs they've been getting.
Almost certainly.
All right. Osiris, let's put in a call to Logos.
Knock knock.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I
Yeah.
don't know, is it just a vocal thing, or can we actually see each other on this?
You it's you have a mental impression of each other, so you can you can put forth like a sort of an avatar view.
Mm-hmm. My mental impression, I guess, would be how you normally see me, which is like the clothing starts to come over, form almost like a skull cap. It's very ornate. Some of the stuff hiding some of the features. It's difficult to tell, like size and such. Also gender. Part of the face is covered by almost like a mask type thing that kind of cuts its way across. All designed to essentially keep my identity secret.
All right.
Logos.
Hello.
I understand that of recent, Blackwater's been having some difficulties going along with some of what you supply.
What are you suggesting?
I'm more curious what you'll do if the snake decides to fight back against its master. What I'm hearing, little whispers that are coming tell me that they're starting to boil. I don't know how much longer they'll be able to stop their people from looking to take what is no longer being given.
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Could you move your mic down? Because right now it's
Okay, sorry.
up.
Oh, it shouldn't be coming. That shouldn't make a difference, correct?
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, because it's the one in the microphone here. I have another one that I was supposed to get from a friend, but I wasn't able to grab it yesterday. Yeah, I'll just. The basic thing is the voice that he uses when contacting other people is a bit different. I'll make it a little louder.
Okay.
Okay. I ask you, do you want to do some kind of deal, or do you just want to gain information from me?
A deal might be possible. See, I prefer working with those who I can trust to be more level-headed, and what I've seen of Blackwater tells me that this is not always the case.
Well, it is better to control a risky variable, but than to let it run free.
True, but the control you may have had, the drugs that were being supplied, are starting to go away. And when, I don't know if you've seen a druggie without their drug of choice, they have a tendency to become unpredictable and dangerous.
So, again, I ask you, what do you want to achieve?
I have, as in many places, people in the right area to hear things or say some things that may be heard by those who can make a difference. Currently, I don't have a specific favor I'd need from you, but I'm reaching out a hand in friendship to see if that hand might be returned at another time.
I cannot say that I'm uninterested.
Would you prefer them to go a little crazy or to have their fires dampened?
What would you prefer, and what are the options?
My preference is to stay above these things. I like to see. I don't know what all your plans are. I don't know if this instigation is on purpose. If so, I can be a spur underneath the blanket, or I can remove the ping.
No, now, would you have the resources to get rid of them?
To wipe Blackwater out?
Yes.
Completely? Probably not. Would I have the resources to cause some chaos and trouble? Perhaps take their teeth out? Possibly, but that takes some time.
I can lead them in a direction that might be beneficial towards those ends.
Personally, I wouldn't mind finding if there's someone a little bit who's able to essentially have them all push in a single direction instead of going at every single one as they tend to now. I'd much rather a samurai that knows when their blade is supposed to be used rather than a group of hooligans who destroy what's in their path.
I see. So we both, I think, have enough influence to not make it look, to let the traces of our influence disappear from another. That means I might be able to do something that will allow you to do whatever you want without anyone noticing, and vice versa. So what if I stroke a deal with them to attack the planet I'm currently residing in, to destabilize it, so that I might expand my nation a little bit, and you help me towards that end to weaken them enough that they will have to back off as soon as their job is done.
That should be doable. Let's keep in contact because we are going to be dealing with a shifting situation. One of us moves too quickly, things might go awry badly.
It was a pleasure.
As always. Click. I'm like, okay, Osiris, I need information on what assets I have somewhere near Logos's world, especially if we have some on it. I want to figure out where he's infiltrated into Blackwater, what he knows, and I also need to possibly see about getting a few other people in Blackwater or a few other sources that we're able to get some information from.
Okay. So yeah, I think that
I think that's the time, by the way. I just let Ariel know, only her, Ariel, that there might be another possibility. That if she's interested, then I want to talk. But, you know, under four eyes, or, well, I can't really say four eyes when I'm a hive mind, but you know what I mean.
Right. Just you and me and all billions of you, Logos.
And all the brains and
yeah. I think she understands that, or they understand that. Well, she would say, they would say, spit it out. What is it?
well, I mean, you're staying here above my nation, right? I understand that this is indeed misunderstanding, and you actually want to attack those planets, but not this nation, right?
I don't want to attack anybody. I just want Soma.
You might get more Soma, and you might get a good deal if you made it possible for our nation to grow, so we can, make more Soma, produce more Soma.
We don't have time to wait for you people to reproduce.
Oh,
we
have enough. We can just
fire up the cloning machines.
No, like Logos is like the system that governs the nation, but the nation is still normal people, so you can just grow the society by getting other parts of the planet into the nation. Like, it's just expansion, normal expansion.
Well, we have what is a day in this? We have Earth days. You understand? Earth days. Less than a Earth week.
Well, I might have a little bit of Soma here for really hard cases if something really bad happened, or if that's a really big opportunity. I mean, I could get this for now, but I need a deal first.
Okay, so you give us that. How much will it last? How much is it, basically? So we both know how much it would last.
So, now, out of character, is there anything that I need to... Or can I just pull something out of my...
You know what? I've been trying... I wanted to, just by, like, animalistic, like, instinct, try to probe and inside this guy. Is he lying to me? Is there a roll I can make for that?
Yeah. So, okay. Couple of things. Yeah, on the... on your, Soma supply on hand, yes, there is a roll for that. That would be convenient acquisition. Um,
Okay.
and I let me. But before we go forward, let's. There's a couple of things. I want to talk a little bit about the world that Locus is on. Let's call it Athena. Um, and I I'm definitely up for input on uh, uh, what it's like. I'm thinking that it is uh, uh, somewhat patterned after the goddess Athena. Like it's uh, matriarchal, but it has like a lot of the trappings of ancient Greek society. Um, Probably like a caste based um, direct democracy. Um, and it has there's a little bit of a militant edge, but that's not like what drives the society. Um, Also, uh, before let's see, I want to. The one thing I forgot to do at start was to go into like we uh, chose the common threat, but not the personal scenarios. So let's just choose one each of those, but and we won't do them all right now. But I definitely want to pick one uh, for Constantine. Um,
So where are
and
these?
okay, so under handouts, there's a one of them is called threats,
Got it.
and it's the personal scenarios. Just pick one of them.
So this is something I'm trying to do, or something that's causing a problem for me.
Uh, it can be either depending on which one you pick.
I like this idea. Um, I don't know if I would have known enough about this ahead of time. Actually, let's alter it this way. I like the idea that I've essentially um, been hired in espionage for special circumstances. Let me know if this fits it. Where I've essentially been hired um, to get some of the not just to get some of the major secrets about Soma creation, because I'm assuming this is something that is um, going out to a lot of different places.
Sure.
It's maybe a business, and like with logos, would this be something that only you know how to manufacture,
Mm,
or the people on Athena?
I mean, hmm. So I'm not really sure.
It's kind of
What
like the idea
would you prefer?
either because my one thing is if they can get it from other sources, it seems like Blackwater might be trying to go to some other places, or maybe it's just cheap enough through you. Um, but I kind of like the idea that when I'm maybe someone had hired me, probably not only to disrupt your Soma trade, but maybe to get information on maybe how you manufacture it.
Yeah, I think I like the idea that you know, I need certain substances that I get from outside myself,
Mhm.
but only I know how to go from there. Like how
Okay.
to how to synthesize it.
Okay. So I've perhaps been hired specifically to try to find out how to actually synthesize, how to create.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because someone else is looking to sort of move out and expand, and that's something they would like to be able to offer.
Okay. So would you all be okay with there being an sort of a mysterious aspect to Soma that special circumstances once investigated, such as there's sort of a black box component to it.
It's made of babies.
Yes.
There has to be some sort of arcane, like old, dark stuff about it, because to get the attention of Constantine.
I think.
Right?
How about this? It has to be synthesized of matter that has been in a dark hole before. Nobody knows how to get matter out of a dark hole.
That would be tricky.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that maybe there is a maybe somewhere in the system there is a not like a full collapsed star singularity, but a sort of a micro singularity that Logos has access to and uses in the manufacture, and others might know that it exists, but not that it has this not necessarily that it has this relationship to Soma.
Or maybe
Sure.
you hide it.
Steve, is this your singularity? Huh? What? Oh, yeah, sorry. Damn it.
I have just a really big LHC. Like the LHC. Around planet. That would be
Okay.
a big LHC. Oh, you know that
With the particle accelerator?
yeah, the particle accelerator, like the one
Oh, it's just the world they turned it on and the small black hole did happen.
Yeah.
yeah, but they say that it didn't, right? Or did it? No.
What?
They say that there weren't any black holes, right?
In the
Correct.
LHC?
I
I heard
think
if there were black holes, they're so tiny that they would evaporate.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
But wasn't there something about there's a chance they would start, they would create one that would that wouldn't just evaporate, and they did it anyway, and it was okay. We're all still here, but maybe on Athena that it's contained, but it is it's still there, and if it ever loses containment, well, that would be kind of a bad thing.
Yeah. Just remember, folks, the good news is if we screw this up, no one is going to be left to complain about it. We can't get in any trouble.
Just give me my drugs, man. Just give me my fucking drugs.
Okay. So,
I think I still have to do my role, right? The one.
So I had to say something about this. Is this him doing a convenient acquisitions, or is it me doing a scan? Because I'm trying to scan him, like an insight roll in D&D, trying to figure out if he's lying to me or not.
Let me use the bathroom real quick while you guys are doing this. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay. I think we should probably find out if I lie or not beforehand, before you do your scan, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead and let's do convenient acquisition.
Oops.
Oh, so you're not lying.
I'm not lying, apparently.
Yeah. We're okay. Well, let me see. What is your rep?
My rep is free.
Okay. So yes, you do have a supply of soma, but you do need to choose 2 from the convenient acquisition list.
Yeah, let's see. Um, I mean, it would be interesting if it would be faulty in some way, but I didn't know how. But I want to make it like it still stinks, and it might be able to make you resent me and maybe even attack me, but not like this really big thing that for sure makes that happen. Like this middle ground. Um.
Let's see.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to take faulty in some way,
I mean, it might be even more addictive than usual because it's not have been purified yet.
well, don't worry about it. We can find out what way it's faulty later.
I mean, that is fun too. Yeah, let's go with that. That is
Okay.
good. I like that. Someone is spying on you through that. It might make sense, but it sounds boring because it makes too much sense.
Okay.
So much spying already.
It comes with strings attached. Yeah. How
Kinda already does.
I kind of have the problem that I can't deliver on that I like piss off another party because they say, that's not as much as we ordered. What is wrong?
Oh, okay.
Let's
So
have you
yeah.
that needs like they have a month on delay on with another party and they might not be pleased about it.
That sounds good. Okay, cool. So, uh, yeah, Ariel, do you want to do that scan to determine if you can uh, you can determine whether or not Logos is being forthcoming when they say that they can get you something.
Yeah. Like in general, like is he scheming? Or is he just being forthcoming? If he's just being like, okay, this is the deal, I'll expand and you get your stuff, and not like, I'll expand and then I'll like destroy you.
Okay.
It's plus, so roll plus focus, right?
Yeah.
My focus is 1. Did it.
Okay. So you can ask one question from the scan list.
All right, let's see. What was that secret that you told me? Did we cover that?
The secret that
That I know, yeah, about your
yeah that the system is basically just that Logos is just a lot of brains like wired together, finding a consensus and judging everyone and everything in his own nation, and it's not just like a perfect computer program. And people would be pissed off when they knew that we're just people judging them because it's supposed to be the perfect system.
Okay.
And I wouldn't trust other people with it, right? Be perfect.
Yeah, so it advertises itself as the perfect system, yet there's personal foibles
Disinformation.
involved.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many questions. I don't know which one. Um, I'm gonna say, where can I get the most advantage?
I don't know.
Uh,
I think
hmm,
it's for the
yeah.
GM to tell me. Because maybe I sense something
Well,
fishy. I can't point to it, but I can smell it.
yeah.
I got that Wolverine like
Okay.
nose like sense.
So, is this singularity that's used in the processing is that on a is it on Athena in sort of having taken over a now defunct particle collider, or is it out in space?
Uh, the particle collider is here, and it's needed to for the production. But I think the actual the matter has to be come from outside. Like the collider just helps like producing it to
So
perfection.
I'm guessing you've been sending out like stealthy, very very stealthy cargo ships to pick it up, right?
I guess I'll just let it um
Or you've been
deliver
pretending to
through.
mine something else?
No, I think I would just make it like that. That I hire someone from Athena to actually just get it delivered there, and from there smuggle it into my nation.
So I think uh, the advantage here is that if if you gain uh, leverage over the Athenian government, um, even though you're being asked to do so, uh, uh, doing so will uh, could easily put you in a stronger position in terms of negotiating in the future and making sure that you have continued access.
So basically, sort of like, okay, like make establish myself in the Logos government, as in like be present in there somehow, have some amount of
Well, not
influence.
necessarily not necessarily the Logos government, but the government of the planet that Logos is on.
All right. Oh yeah, and the planet you said it was democratic.
Uh, it is directly democratic. Yes.
At this point of time.
Oh Jesus, I gotta start a campaign now. Like, all right.
Well, I mean, you could push it to change its form of government, either like by direct force or by just applying pressure.
Um, yeah, maybe I'm very. I just start occupying everything that isn't like Logos on the planet very casually, just like, well, we're just gonna land these ships here, all armed. Very passive aggressive, like, this better work. And kind of like scaring everybody into submission in the planet who isn't Logos, right? Because I'm sure, is there like a region on the planet that's controlled by Logos? Is Logos like a country in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not Logos is a country, but there's a country run by Logos.
Right. Which is almost the same thing.
I guess.
Yeah, I think I started doing that, but that would take a bit. Maybe does it take a couple days? I guess. I have a lot of ships.
Yeah, but I mean, time's a little bit elastic. We can, uh, you know, we can easily like elide a couple of days forward. No problem at all. But before we do, uh, let's take a short break,